What's up, guys? PowerManiac720 here, and I have for you today Game 1 of my top 8 set against Michael Lanzano, aka Jivetime. So Jivetime he's a really good player. I mean, I think he made Worlds last year, and he came to the West Hartford Premier Challenge, and I got the 7 seed, and he was the 2 seed, so we got paired up, and so we got put on stream. So my team was a team I've been using a lot lately, which is Shiftry, Ninetails, Terrakion, Salomon, Sylveon, and I added Nidoking. So right off the bat, I just lead Shiftry, Ninetails, and he leads Kangaskhan and Cresselia. So I really like my lead matchup here because Crest really can't do much besides, you know, maybe Icy Wind or something. I'm not really, his team didn't really scream Trick Room, so I wasn't really worried about any Trick Room shenanigans here. So my goal was pretty much to just fake out the Kang and just like start dealing damage with Heat Wave. And so that's what I go for. So I fake out the Kang here, as you see, and then I just spam the Heat Wave. And I noticed that he didn't flinch, which means he didn't go for a fake out, which is interesting. So I don't know if he didn't have fake out, or if he was just making a call. But then he goes for the Calm Mind with Crest, which I was very surprised about, because you know, Calm Mind Crest isn't very common, but of course it can be so deadly if it's set up. So he withdraws his Kangaskhan and switches into Heatran, which of course is a really good switch here because Heatran just soaks up Heat Waves for days. But I was fine with that. I went for the knockoff on Crest anyway because I really hate Crest, and it does a really nice chunk of damage. And it also reveals he has a Rocky Helmet, which is good to know for, you know, the future games 2 and 3. So Heat Wave, you know, obviously doesn't affect Heatran, but luckily it hits Crest and I'm able to knock it out. So I'm feeling pretty good. Like, the only damage I've taken is Rocky Helmet damage at this point. But Kang does get a free switch in, which is a little unfortunate. And it does reveal that it has Fake Out and goes for it on the Shiftry. And does a nice chunk of damage. And of course I flinch. Then I just go for the Heat Wave again. Like, at this point, Flash Fire only gets boosted once, so like I can just keep using Heat Wave, and it's not going to give him more Flash Fire boost. And the Kangaskhan actually survives, which I was surprised about. And Ninetails avoids the Heat Wave, which, you know, some people are like, oh, you know, not a big deal, but like, Sun Boosted, I think it's a Life Orb Heatran too, if I remember correctly. Was it? Yeah, so Life Orb, Flash Fire, Sun Boosted Heat Wave does a lot of damage to anything, pretty much. So I sent in my Terrakion, which is great, because now I have like humongous offensive pressure. And of course, this also now reveals that I am Scarf Ninetails, which is a little unfortunate, because he's going to see here that my Ninetails moves before my Terrakion. And luckily the Heat Wave hits the Kangaskhan here, which is nice. And I just go right for the close combat into Heatran. And also it's nice knowing that the Heatran has Life Orb, because I know I can freely close combat it for a KO and not worry about a Chocolate Berry. So I'm feeling really good about my position now, because now I'm up 4-2, and I still have Ments in the back. So like if this Landorus locks itself into Earthquake, like assuming it's choice, then he's going to KO his own Heatran, and B, he's going to just like get destroyed. Because I had Ments in the back. So based on the damage I did, like I knew that was Assault Vest, because that was just not a lot of damage at all. Especially with the crit, like if it was a crit Heat Wave on like a 4 HP Lando, it would have easily KO'd it. Or not KO'd it, but brought it probably to red health. So he just Rock Slides, which is a smart move. And you know, you saw that his Heatran survived that, which first I thought, wow, it's a bulky Heatran. But then I remembered that he did Intimidate me, which is, you know, why he ended up surviving it. I'm probably going to switch to Life Orb Heatran, or Terrakion in the future, just so I don't have to worry about stuff like that. So that's all my fades. So now I have Ments, which I'm not too concerned about, because I know that he's Assault Vest and not Scarf, so I don't have to worry about Rock Slide flinches. And also, now that the sun's gone, these Heat Waves, like, they're still doing a good chunk of damage, but they're not going to hurt me as bad. And plus, I have Rock Slide on my Ments for situations like this, so I can hit both Pokemon at the same time, which is really useful. So he protects the Heatran. In retrospect, I probably should have just double-edged the Landorus, knowing that Heatran really doesn't do much to me, and knowing that the Landorus doesn't have to protect it. But I do flinch it, which is really helpful. Heatran then avoids the attack, which is really unfortunate. I get really concerned right about here, because the Landorus survives the Rock Slide and hits me with a Rock Slide, and then I see a Flash Cannon coming, and I don't know if I can take a Life Orb Flash Cannon from a Heatran. But luckily I do survive it with 12 HP, and he actually feints the recoil damage, so I don't have to worry about Rock Slide Shaky accuracy because I can just double edge the Landorus for the KO. And that's why I love Salamence. I mean, Salamence is so fast and it's so bulky. It's just really nice to have on your team. So I ended up taking game 1. Pretty close match at the end, but luckily I was able to pull through. So stay tuned for game 2.